Hey, welcome back. In this video and the next couple, we're going to take a look at what we can put here in the some condition is true portion of the if or elif statement. So what are the things that we can test for? So they have to return true or false, but so far we've only seen testing for direct equality. Is name equal exactly to Arya Stark? But we'll see a couple other options in this video called comparison operators. So comparison operators allow us to compare two pieces of data, and we've already seen one example, the equality operator, which is two equal signs. Remember, one equal sign will actually assign a variable, so we don't want to be doing that inside an if. So we want two equal signs, and that will be truthy. It will return true if A is equal to B, if they have the same value. In this little table I made, you can put 1 in for A and 1 in for B. So 1 equals 1, that's true. So over here in my terminal, I could do something like inside of Python 3, I could do, 1 equals 1, and we get true. I could do 1 equals 2, and that's false. And, same thing for strings. Is A equal to capital A? That's false. They're different. Remember, capitalization matters. But typically, we would use variables. We're not going to just have an if statement. If 1 is equal to 1, do this. You might as well just say if true, or always do this. Okay, so back to our comparison operators. The next one that goes along with equality is not equals. So it's an exclamation point and a single equal sign. So this returns true if A is not equal to B. So in this case, 1 is not equal to 1 is false. So it returns false. So we can test that out. Just do, 1 not equals 1. We get false. Or let's make a variable this time called color, set it equal to teal, and then we can test. If color is not equal to purple, what will this return? True, because teal is not equal to purple. So everything I'm showing you right now, you could easily put into an if or elif, but just for the sake of keeping this brief, I'm just typing them immediately and getting true or false. Next are greater than and less than. So you've probably seen these before, but the idea is that one value is greater than the other. If A is greater than B, greater than returns true. If it's not, it returns false. And the opposite is true for less than. So in this case, both examples are actually false because if we put 1 for A and 1 for B, 1 is not greater than 1, 1 is not less than 1. It's exactly equal to 1. So we could try this. We'll start with numbers. So we can do things like, is 1 less than 3? That should return true. Is negative 100 greater than negative 200? That's true. This is more negative, it's smaller. The other thing that we could do is work with strings. And I advise you not to do this. Comparing strings with greater than and less than, it does work, right? So we could say is lowercase a less than uppercase a, and that's false. Or we could do is lowercase or uppercase a less than lowercase a, and that's true. And what about a B? Is a B less than an A or greater than? Let's do greater than. It's true. The reason I advise you not to do this is just that it can get confusing when you have to worry about case. And honestly, there's not many times when you're trying to figure out if a letter comes before another letter or if an entire string comes before another string. It is possible. The way Python orders them is called lexicographical ordering. It's essentially alphabetical ordering, sort of like what the dictionary would use. But we don't need to go into it that much. Just be aware that you can test for greater than and less than with strings, but almost 99% of the time, you're only going to care about direct equality. Or we'll find ways to figure out, is the first letter of a string equal to something? But we'll leave that for now and move on to the last two, which are greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So in this case, start with greater than or equal to. The whole thing returns true if A is greater than or equal to B. So the whole thing for us returns true if 1 is greater than or equal to 1, and that's true because 1 is equal to 1. And the opposite applies for less than or equal to. So we could do a simple example like age equals 18. And then age is greater than or equal to 18. We'll say that you're an adult, and that's true. And we could use this in an if, just doing if age is greater than or equal to 18. Then we'll do a print you are an adult, at least in the US. I don't know about other countries. Hit enter again, and we get you are an adult because age is equal to 18. So if we left off that equal sign, just did greater than, we don't get anything because age is not greater than 18, it's equal to 18. All right, so those are comparison operators. There's a couple of them as we've seen. Most of the time, well, a lot of the time, you're working with equals and not equals. Greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than or equal to are also common, but at the end of the day, all of them return either true or false every time they run. And we can plug them directly in. It's like a little Lego block. We put them in the if statement or in the elif, and they return true or false, and they're the gatekeepers for which branch of the code runs.